Yeah, so with the way the economy is right now, everybody wants to learn something. Everybody wants to do something that makes money. And most importantly, we want to learn it within a very, very short time. I've seen people say, how can I get to learn this thing fast so that I'll begin to see the results? The obvious truth is that you cannot actually override process, but there are still shortcuts to doing some things. So I had a discussion with somebody yesterday, and we're talking about learning skills and stuff like that. And people were like, "Okay, how can we go about this, and how can we make it faster?" And I gave some recommendations. Then I decided, what if I just make a content around this to help people learn faster? Not just learn faster when it comes to skills. This is not just all about skills alone. This applies to business or anything you're doing. There are some things you can do to accelerate what you're doing and ensure that you get to the point of when it begins to convert to money. First, it's like all about acquiring the knowledge. You cannot convert anything to money if you don't have the expertise or you don't have the professional experience in it. So, three things you can do to accelerate what you want to learn, and I wrote it down. One, you have to start with a learning platform, and this is not something anybody can share to you. And subconsciously, people don't know about this. Like everybody is just like, let's see how it goes. You get to check your friend's status and you're like, okay, yeah, fine, this content is good and stuff like that. But there are things you can do to ensure that you learn faster, and I've used this over the years to move from one skill to the other, and accelerate the learning process of the new skill I'm involved. Let's say I'm just learning a new skill today. I just want to venture into something new today. There are things, or there is a way I go about it that ensures that within 3 months I've been able to get enough experience, not just even the knowledge, enough experience to venture into it. So the first thing to do is to start with a learning platform. Now, the learning platform could either be paid or could be free, but I will give you some learning platforms. So one, when it comes to reading, if you're the type that loves reading, then maximize Medium. Medium is the best platform where I can recommend whoever loves reading. Medium.com. I might just have to edit this when it's there, maybe put medium.com. But if it's not there, it's just Medium, the word Medium, medium.com. Once you go to medium.com, it's a blog site where there are contents by professionals on things that will help you. And most times the contents are around how to's, what to's, when to, why you should. So I started using Medium since 2017 when I was reading on how to become a content writer. And I read from a lot of professionals there that accelerated my content writing journey. So use Medium, although now Medium is not free. When I used Medium back then, it was free, but now it's just paying $5 monthly, and I think $5 monthly to get enough knowledge is not bad. So Medium, you can learn on design, from like written stuff. You can learn on design, learn on content, you can learn on marketing, you can learn on startups, you can learn on anything. So use medium.com or YouTube. Like I said, use a learning platform. Start with a learning platform first. Sometimes people get to jump on paid platforms. Not bad if the paid platform will give you the exposure. The mistake with paid platforms is that you don't know what you want to learn. You just go pay for something that is not valuable to you, so it does not make sense. But first, get the exposure. That's why I'm telling you, start with a learning platform. Medium for blog, YouTube for videos. So if you're not the type that loves YouTube, you should begin to love YouTube now. Use YouTube has endless information. YouTube even is the house of everything information, so you can get literally any information you want to get on YouTube was where I used to start my marketing journey. Aside using Medium for videos, I was using YouTube. So use YouTube, start with the learning platform. Medium for blog, YouTube for videos. And you can actually download on YouTube. If you're using your PC, there are like softwares. You just go to Google, type YouTube downloader, like YouTube downloading software, and download the software. You can download directly from YouTube to your device. And because you cannot download from YouTube on your mobile device except you're using some ways where people use to download from YouTube. So use Medium, use YouTube. They are the cheapest way to get some level of exposure. Once you get to use this within a short time, you would have seen so many things. You've assimilated so much of knowledge from professionals. Then move on to advanced to following professionals. So the thing with using Medium is they would get to recommend the books you need to read. They will get to recommend where you go. But now the next thing is follow them on their social media platforms. If you're not active on social media platforms, this is another opportunity to also be active on social media platform. I never loved Twitter till I started following some entrepreneurs like Sam Parr of the Hustle Trends and My First Million podcast. And the interesting thing about following the professionals is they help make the journey short. They tell you the mistakes, they tell you the do's and the don'ts of the journey. So once you get to consistently follow them, they constantly share tips that will help you, like, oh, this is why I've been making this mistake, or this is what I wanted to try to figure out. Now these guys have helped me figure this thing out. It's a very, very huge learning process. I became active on Twitter because of some entrepreneurs when I was in the startup world. I was learning from Sam Parr, Shaan Puri, I was learning from Gagan Biyani, and a lot of them, Victor Asimota and a lot of them, Jason Njoku, where they share their experience. Sometimes their experience, they link it to blogs and stuff like that. By the time they share their experiences to you will help reduce the stress and the burden for you to try to figure things out and make mistakes. So after you can still continue using Medium and YouTube, but ensure you learn from professionals, because this time around they're giving you professional advice right from what is happening within the industry. It gives you exposure. Oh, this is the software I need to learn, this is the tool I need to use, this is how I need to go about this is where I'm supposed to be, this is what, like, they give you the standard experience. This is you here and you want to get to this place. So these guys are telling you these are the things you need to do, this is what you need to acquire, this is the software you need to get, and stuff like that. So that's why it's also important. You will realize that by the time you follow that process, it shortens the journey for you again. You know the right path to take, although you cannot still get to where you want to get in a shorter time without the third one. This applies to anything, even though if it's software development, coding. It helps you know what to learn exactly, what you should not learn, and then it brings you to the third one: practice and experiment. People do the first two, they don't do the third one. That hence they still remain stuck in what they are doing and don't like get to that professional level of exchanging it for money or whatever they're going to do. So if you're going into marketing now, after you've started learning from getting all this knowledge, the tools and everything, and you're learning from professionals in the field, begin to experiment anything you're learning. The reason why it's important is it now helps you solidify the theory you've gotten, and it gives you a more concrete direction and a more concrete understanding of what you are learning. So practice, experiment. If it is software development, begin to code, begin to try to do stuff. If it is marketing, begin to try to experiment and look for the results. If you don't experiment, you cannot even confidently go say, I am very, very vast in this thing, give me money for the knowledge, and you want to charge high. It's not going to be possible. You will be tested, and sometimes, or most importantly, you would fail. So first thing, start with the learning platform. I gave you medium.com or YouTube. If you don't know what medium.com is, now you know. Next thing is advance to following professionals. If it's Twitter, if it's Instagram, if it is wherever they are. LinkedIn is another great platform. Follow some of them. I follow a couple of guys that talk about content creation and making money, building communities from LinkedIn, and I learned a lot from them. Then lastly, you start to practice or experiment. With these three things, or these three steps, it helps you accelerate your learning journey and get clarity within a very, very short time. So this is just like a secret hack to ensuring that you do things very fast, and within 3 to 6 months you're already a professional. In quotes, you're already like a master of what you want to venture into, and not begin to dilly-dally or go around wasting time. So if this is the first time, like, we are back now on Climber, like making videos on YouTube. So subscribe to this YouTube channel if you've not subscribed, turn on post notification too as well, and wait for more content that I'll be talking about things like this, both business and things to help you move forward.